Hello everyone, thank you guys for listening. My name is Omar Gonzalez, and this is my wrestling culture speech. Try to imagine stepping on a mat. The moment you step on, there are only three things that separate you from your opponent: your training, your grit, and a pair of wrestling shoes. Wrestling culture has to be one of the most oldest and respected athletic traditions in the world, and it is around 15 to 20,000 years old. For many athletes, including myself, wrestling is more than just a sport. It's a way of living our lives. As someone who has experienced many wrestling matches, I can tell you from personal experience just how much wrestling affects our way of life. Us wrestlers have a special connection with our equipment, not just our shoes. First, I will describe wrestling culture and explain how wrestling shoes are an artifact in the culture. My goal at the end of it all is to share what this artifact can reveal about wrestling culture, cultural values. Wrestling is actually one of the world's oldest sports. It can trace all the way back to ancient civilizations, including Egypt, Greece, and Mesopotamia. When it comes to modern wrestling culture, it is built on many different values, which consists of discipline, physical endurance, respect for opponents, and our own personal growth. From my own personal experience, I know that some wrestlers often train year-round. We have to balance strict diets, intense daily training, and constant practice. The culture also promotes creating a strong community where teammates tend to push one another past their limits in order to honor the traditions of the sport. For many wrestlers, and that includes myself, the mat is a space that is sacred. It is a place where we can learn life lessons, we can practice humility, and learn how to become more humble. Moving on, wrestling shoes are light and flexible, and they are designed to have strong grip. The difference for wrestlers, however, is that they're more than just equipment. They show the battles you fought. Every new scuff and the sole falling off the bottom of your shoe are both part of your story. As you can see, I have a couple scuffs on my shoe, which actually, I just recently got a new pair. Getting a new pair of wrestling shoes can mean a few different things. It can mean that you grew out of your old pair, your foot has grown. It can mean you got tired of your old pair, or, like my situation, it can mean that they're falling apart, which shows just how much work and determination you put on the mat. For many wrestlers, these marks and tears mean a lot to us. Most wrestlers hold on to our shoes because they mean a lot to us. They remind us of our long and hard practices, the big wins, and even the toughest of losses. These losses and these wins help shape us into who we are today. Not every wrestler has the same shoe, and because of this, our shoes can tend to show our identity. Whether it's choosing bright colors, certain designs, or even wording, sometimes even a certain brand, can give every wrestler the chance to stand out while being part of our large wrestling community. My shoes, for example, I chose these because blue is my favorite color. It also says, "All I see is gold." If I'm being honest, I don't always see gold. To be honest, I usually see third, second place, and sometimes even lower than that. Having a shoe like this helped me motivate myself, to push myself. Putting the shoes on every practice reminds me that gold is the goal. Moving on to my third point. Wrestling shoes can show the discipline, the hard work, and the sacrifice that is needed in order to be successful in the sport. On top of this, our shoes are able to highlight how personal growth comes from struggle. Our shoes are able to remind us that every setback leads to an even bigger outcome and is part of the journey to success. When it comes to our wrestling shoes, they reflect the pride that we wrestlers feel in being part of a culture that values hard work, respect, and resilience. At the same time, they remind us a culture is not only about the group as a whole, but it's also about the individual stories and the growth that makes it unique. Although wrestling shoes may look simple to most people, they can carry powerful meaning. As I've stated before, they represent discipline, growth, and the pride of being part of a wrestling culture. In this discussion, we went over wrestling culture, how wrestling shoes are an artifact, and what these shoes can show about the culture as a whole. So, I ask you one thing. The next time you see a pair of ripped, worn wrestling shoes, just remember that they are more than just gear. They're a symbol of our wrestling culture that is built on resilience and the personal growth and journey of the athlete who is wearing them. Thank you all for listening. Hope you have a great day.